and welcoming everybody. As we await our friends joining us in, I'm going to start it like this so that some can find their way in since I started early.
Sunny days, sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Doing times only for $9.99 a month.
Good evening. 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, November 13th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Thank you all so much for tuning in. A lot of good stuff has happened. That drop down to 228 is nothing short of, honestly, if, it's a big if, it's a big if, you've drawn your line in the sand. If you're a trader who likes to take risk, if you're someone who says, I'm looking for a possible short-term possibility, obviously there's much risk in this short-term possibility. But you've got a line in the sand now where it's drawn us a support structure after we came down to a low of about $2.32, came up to 252, now made a new low at 228, now trying to break past the 232. If we do draw a line in the sand, and now all of a sudden you see us start approaching back over that 238, we got something going. If we fail to get back over the aforementioned range and we make our way down, we could have a problem. But as I've talked about earlier, I believe we're building a megaphone pattern probably. It's to your interpretation, bearish or bullish. I honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter to me which side you look at because we're not there yet. So, resistance to support, widening the resistance to support. Now we're lacking on a megaphone pattern. You've got to have 3 hits on each side. It differs from a broadening what. So now I look at it deeper and I go, well, what could propel us to get our asses back up here? Maybe now it's 267. Well, I see it still. Inverse left shoulder, 2 ahead, 2 a strategic right shoulder, 2 a bottom, 2 a fake out, 2 the bottom we talked about yesterday. We wanted to wait for the fake out. Now it seems to me like this would be the best time to take a shot here. Now I'm not telling anybody what to do, but you look at this and you put a stop loss maybe about that $2.28 mark. Or maybe you let it swing down, but it can't come much farther than this unless you invalidate it. Then you'd have to come all the way down here and we try again. But this puts us in a very strategic area, and I'm not endorsing it. I'm not suggesting it. I'm not even hinting at it. I'm just saying, if you're out there in the stratosphere, in the universe, in the abyss, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was suspecting something to do, I would say, it's, so the question we ask ourselves, does this bring us up to 268 for the rejection that later gets us down to this $1.77 to $1.82? Maybe it comes down farther. We don't quite know. We're just trying to match it up. And Matt Grimes has been saying it for a few days, as he says in the audience. And he says $1.55. No, I understand, Matt. We've been talking about it. I seen you mention it too. I'm not disagreeing that you said it, my friend. I'm just saying the possibilities that are in front of us. But would you, since you see it as well, would you say we get that $2.68 tap or 265 first to give us the leverage to move ourselves back down? Do you think this inverse head and shoulders plays out? Does the audience believe that this is an inverse head and shoulders that's going to play out in the short term? Do you believe we're breaking down? Do you think this was the back test of a setup? Because personally, I think there's a very, very, did I mention very interesting opportunity that presents itself for every single person watching right now, including myself. Including myself. Including myself. Now, the good thing about this is, and I gotta see something because I gotta see what some people are doing. And I'm gonna tell you if it's a good idea. If you went 35, because I say this all the time and it drives me nuts, but I mean, I can't help to tell you this is the truth. So the average retailer puts 35x. Don't I mean, it's just the way it goes. 35x. I think that's really scary. I think that you're gambling at that point. I think in a lot of ways we're gambling once you do leverage. But when you get to 35x, so to put it in perspective, where the price is right now, if you put it on a 35x, do you know how little it would have to move? You're talking about $2.28.1 and you're liquidated. That's well within the range of consolidation here. Even if it wanted to tap and maybe make a small, I mean, Jesus Lord. So that's where it's the dangerous game. But like, if you're looking at the 10x and the 12x or the 8x or the 50, I mean, as far as I can see here, you're going to get invalidated far before liquidation because I'm not, if it was me, I mean, if it breaks this structure, I don't want to be in it because this is the structure that would hold this inverse head and shoulders. I mean, that's just me being as honest as I can. You're trying to do a short-term swing trade. Remember this. And I'm going to start this because I accidentally came up with a slogan and I made something. But traders become faders. Remember that. And I have a little diagram to show you what I mean. So faders become, or the traders become faders. And what that means is, let's just say you start with 10,000 XRP. You see that the market's going to go down, right? You see the market's going to go down. And you're like, well, I'm going to sell XRP and I'm going to get back 10,600. So go to the left side of the screen. And here, let's do it better this way. I can do, let's see. I'll say, well, it's fine. We can just look at it like this. But it says sell hoping for 10,600. Well, unfortunately, the price starts going up after you do it. And now all of a sudden, when you buy it back, you have 9,850. So then we start getting bearish and you sell it again and the price goes down. Well, now you're waiting for a bigger drop. And eventually the cycle plays itself out and you start to get into that. And then all of a sudden you play yourself out of your position. And then all of a sudden you have to go into the leverage side. And then you find yourself going into liquidation. So it's a rinse and repeat. FOMO buy, get in, get out. FOMO buy, panic sell. News, prices up. Leverage to zero, nothing. Like you sell out, you wait for a drop, then untimely news and it goes up, ends up being a fake out, it starts tanking. And all of a sudden, after you go through all of this process, if you would have just stood pat, you'd have 10,000 XRP and I got 7,900. That's when you start to get into the deep side of town. I think just understanding what that actually means from a market psychology standpoint, it's dangerous because I've been there. But getting out of that, I'm just telling you guys, if you're in a leverage trade, just don't be the biatch in this case, okay? You have to make the rule. So $2.28 breaks, sorry. I don't care if you lost money. You don't want to be in it if that breaks, unless it comes down and it's just a fake out and it goes like 226. But that's the thing. You got to be precise. You've got to be precise. So, but like the spot, what I was referring to was the spot when I was, but that little thing that said traders become faders, that was in reference to spot. And then as a last bit resort, you end up going into leverage, trying to trade it all back. I just see it all the time. Excuse me. How many in the audience has this happened to? You got let's just say you got 1,000 XRP. You expect a drop, and instead of sitting in it and trying to put a little bit more in, money to the side, maybe you have no money. So you sell, waiting for the price to go down, and then all of a sudden you realize it's going up, and then you buy it back, and now you've only got 85% of what you had. And now you're sitting there wanting to kick yourself in the nuts You know, and you're like, well, what am I doing? And then you panic, and then you're trying to find opportunity. Maybe you'll sell your XRP to go buy something else you think's going to run faster. And then all of a sudden you switched into, let's just say for this equation, you switch into, I don't know, XDC, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, XDC doesn't move as fast as XRP. Now you're flip flopping, and now all of a sudden, you know, you've cost yourself so many XRP, you got all this, it becomes a nightmare. So, you know, this is where market psychology, we got to be strong. Like right now, we got to be strong. Right now, what it's showing us in the metrics, okay. So if I'm looking at it, we're getting into the oversold in the 2 hourly, 3 hourly still moving down. Does it have room? Yeah, that's an issue. And can we invalidate the structure? You better believe it. You can. You can absolutely destroy the structure. The one good thing about this is if this is gonna play, this literally is what we needed to happen. This would be ultra bullish to push up to here if it can eat this back. Now that the question is, do we eat it back? Well, nobody knows. That's the beauty of this. Nobody really knows. We can have our perspective, and then we'll see which way it fits. Like right now, could we come up to 255 and be rejected? Well, I would say that this event already took place right here. So this actually happened right here. So it went quicker than we thought, but it still made that move. It just didn't go over here. So yes, that's already happened. Now we came back down to a baseline. Now we know that the baseline, it was a sideways baseline as it turned out, but we didn't know that at the time. We do now. But if this gets invalidated, it's over, in my opinion. But this is like, okay, we've got some kind of descending support structure building here. And now we've got to catch. You know, we got to catch. You've got to catch here. Like we have to. Or, I mean, there's nothing else that we can, if we break this structure, that inverse head and shoulders is going to be invalidated if we come down too far. And once that's invalidated, you know, then you go back into this little channel, and then all of a sudden you start talking about that sub $2 just hop, skip, and a jump. So it's one of those things. Do you believe that the pattern is going to die? Or do you think, even if the pattern's meant to come down, do you think we've got another tap above? Right now, that candle looks hideous. So this is all speculation, conjecture, and, you know, us just trying to do our best to stay ahead here. 2 hourly suggests we should have a short-term reversal. Hourly suggests that we're on the verge of the, you know, what I can only imagine at the end of this last 58 minutes, we're either going to do one of two things. We're going to come up. We're going to try to close around 238, so there's about 3%. We're going to try to just break past this hourly maybe and push past, but it seems like to me we got to do something here because this pattern's in jeopardy if we come down any farther. So could it come down here? It could. Do we want it to? No. No, because the bottom line is you come down here, there's not very good odds that you're not going to come all the way through. And maybe that's what we need to do, reset it again. Just like here where it looked like we could have had this inverse pattern, broke out, back test, failed, into a new head, inverse pattern, back test. If it fails again, it could repeat. It could definitely repeat. But, you know, eventually, if we're going to get out of this area, it's 70% of the move. We're 70% of the way through this move now. So the good news is here, then we can start talking about, okay, well, maybe we do play back up here. And then if it is a megaphone, whether bullish or bearish, we'll let you decide. Then maybe, you know, this makes even more sense. So that's what we're trying to decide here this evening, everybody. This is exactly what we're trying to decide here. Yeah, Shane, it is good to see. I believe Quant was up about 9%. Ooh, it's up to 11 now. I noticed it was up, but this is a good sign because look, Quant came down and back tested its move. And I think this is a good indicator of what could possibly be to come. So that's Quant. So we'll see. We'll see if XRP can get. You see this inverse pattern? Let's see what Quant was showing. Quant basically had a prototypical. I mean, you can see the inverse pattern here. You can see shoulder, head, shoulder. Here, I'll do it so it's easier to see. So you can see, like right here, if you use this as a shoulder, head, shoulder. I know it's a little jank, but you can use this whole area. And now it's back test. And now it's moving out. gonna get us up to what's that? About the $100 range with this push up minimum. And then we'll see what happens if it continues to play through. But yeah, this could be a good signal for the rest of what we're doing here. The other good thing about this too is it was just in this perfect channel. Like, look how many other things are like this that broke out. Whoops. Oops. I just looked at it. Hopefully it didn't. So, but that's good. I mean, it did it prototypical, breakout, back, boom, up, back. I mean, this should be, that could be an indicator to the rest of the market. Look what Lania is doing too. I redrew this out. Because it almost looks like it formed into this now off the side, you know, so we have to go. So if it doesn't break down, I mean, you buy support, then we would revisit at 15. I'm considering, and I wanted to talk about it in this live, about just buying the copy trade back. We sold at 12.7, and now we'll be able to buy back at 11.9, 11.8. That's going to be, we can get, it's dropped down almost 10% from where we sold it. And this is one of those occasions where we'll benefit very nicely as a community because we were able to have the foresight. So, but that's a decision I would like to see some of you talk about. XRP is going to 0 HP. I mean, I know that would make your erect dreams, make them, you know, your fantasies come true. And you could have a little menage a trois with your little fantasy of XRP being 0. But unfortunately for you, that's not going to happen. But you never know. I guess you never know. Linea's down in the 3 hourly. We have a big candle downward. So, you know, I want to see it. It's a tricky question because I believe it's building an inverse pattern. And it's like, I've seen these so many times where we do stuff like this down to the, and then you go like this, and then you bounce out and you look and you're like, well, damn, it was building a head and shoulders. And then I look at how Quant was building that down, remember? Out, and then boom, and then it ended up building a, I could see this happening. I could see this happening. So that's why I wanted to pose the question. I almost bought it back before the live, and then I said, you know what? I want to see public opinion. Even though I'm going to do what I'm going to do. We just have time to look at it because of the way the pattern's set up. It wasn't urgent. If it was urgent, I would have just bought it. And I'm not greedy, so I don't care. I'm looking to advance our position anyhow. Let's see. I guess nobody commented, so I guess I'll just do what I think. Thanks, I'm sold early and bought back and made a quick 1K. Interesting, Luke. Interesting. Crypto Cooter, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tons 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And thank you so much for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. I greatly appreciate that. Says this has happened to me swinging Filecoin, had 1,000, swung up to 1,100 just to lose 100 and back down to 1,000. Trading gets rough for sure. Oh, yeah. No matter how good you think you are, something always happens unexpectedly. Like, I really believe, like, maybe Linea's getting ready for a little move up. I think we're going to get a surprise squeeze back up in the market. So, again, I ask, do you guys want the Linea back? If there's anybody in here, we got a couple added people. But I personally don't like not being in it. I just felt like we are going to have a little drop. So, I felt like at 12.7 or whatever it was, we ended up selling. We had a little opportunity to try to gain a little more. Kind of a little experiment for the group just so everybody can see, like, using the same money, what you could do, but you don't want to push too much. I mean, we're talking about 8% right now, easy. We're getting 8% more right now without having to put anything in. Oh, we're going to look at XRP. I'm just kind of going around town real quick. We started with XRP. We'll be on XRP for a long time. So, but the main reason I sold Linea wasn't because I was afraid it was going down. There was a lot of people, there was 4 people that they couldn't figure out why it wasn't doing it. So we got it figured out. And the one person just hasn't even responded anymore. So I can't do anything about that. But we got all that worked out. So, I mean, I figured we took the profit. We had a chance for that to happen. And now I feel good about it. You buy the red. I mean, it's going into a weekend. but I don't mind. So let's see. Oh, I gotta go to the copy trade. And if you're interested in the copy trade, in the video description below and our pinned comments of this very live is the link for TOOBIT. You follow that link and then you go to copy trading. You type in XRP Future Millionaire, but it's attached to this link, so you gotta download to this link to keep spam away. And then when you search copy trading, you type in XRP Future Millionaire. You follow, and then you do what you got to do. There's 11 people following. Some people leave, some people come, but there's 25 people have hearted it, which means 14 people followed, but you didn't subscribe, so you can't be part of the trade. So those people are literally following, but they didn't subscribe. But there's nothing I can do about that. So I'm just gonna hold my peace, and I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna take this probably at 1192 here. Because it's in my gut. And I like the fact that it came down where it did, to be honest. Okay, so we want to do limit, never market. We'll put it at 0.01199 just to see what they give us. I'm going to buy it all back. 1x. Looks like it filled. 1189 it gave us. Nice. That's what I wanted to see what it was going to give, even if I put 1199. It cost $1.64 for the P&L. On $3,313. On the sell, now I can look at the order history. We sold at 0.01264. And we bought back at 0.1189. So that's a pretty good that's pretty good. I don't mind that at all. And now how many tokens did we get back? And then we're gonna go into XRP. Big time. And I don't know, this could fall right through. I really don't know. It just gives us a little bit of positioning here now. Plus, it's only right to be back, and I didn't want to sell it to begin with. And as it turns out, I guess helping one person is better than nothing. I want to see exactly how many tokens it gave us. As you guys know, for me, it's hard to see because I'm copy trading, so I got to go into some stupid section to see it. Let's see. So we got. Where the hell do I have to go? I forgot. Whatever. I know not everybody's interested in this, so some people are just gonna leave, but it's actually it's important information. I wish they didn't make it so hard for me to see when I'm doing it like this, but they do. I guess I'll just go into the actual long history here so that I can just see it. Nope, that's the regular future, so it's not going to show me. See? Stupid. Copy trading. We have. Oh, guys, if you had to, well, I know you guys know how it is. You guys are watching it. But XRP, same situation. We're in the same situation. We're at a make it or break it line. Like honestly, a good make it or break it line because we're set where we need to be. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with where XRP's at right now. What is it? Oh, it's ridiculous how hard it is to see. It's like just Show me how many tokens it was. Does anybody know? So I can get out of this endless loop. But I think this is a good exciting time. We got 36 minutes until the or 46 minutes until the daily close. We're still in extreme fear. We were down to like 15, which I mean, I know everybody should know what that means. Like we're in extreme fear. Like if there was a time to have a reversal when most people aren't expect, this would be the time. Like these are the times. Legitimately. But hey, I digress. I digress. But how many people in the audience, just out of curiosity, how many of you have left your trades open, like spot? How many of you are still rolling with spot? And how many of you are still in the flow? Honestly, how many of you are still in the flow? Just that's the best way to ask it. I'm actually honestly curious. So the order history, when we sold, we closed along and had 263,000, at least I did, 263,506 linea. And we bought back and we got 276,533 linea. So not a crazy difference. So 13,500 more linea maybe or something like that. What's the price? That's not a lot. So 13,500 times 0.01196. So 161 bucks. So basically what happened was we got $161 worth of linea extra that we didn't have to buy is what it comes out to. So not bad. Not bad. It ended up working out, but it was definitely it was definitely a dangerous one. I will be honest with that. That's a dangerous one. So but XRP, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see if this plays out. The parameters are exactly what I talked about before. You know, nothing more, nothing less. I do believe it's gonna end up if we can hold that $2.27 mark. I think it's a good sign. Now I want to get into XRP deeper since we did talk what we needed to with Linnea, and I thank everybody for your help. I really do. I do. And I love hearing everybody say the feeling of the market psychology as well. I do. It helps out so much, even more than most people even imagine and can realize. Understanding what everybody else is feeling along with my own feelings, it does help. Mr. Stott did a $15 leverage on XRP. I mean, it's dangerous, don't get me wrong. And that $2.27 should be everybody's real line in the sand, honestly. So, but it's if this inverse head and shoulder is going to play out. And now we're starting to push up here in the hourly. There's no doubt. 2 hourly. It's early though. See, we've got, if this is a head, shoulder, head, we've got the 3 layers of foundation now. So it's given us a little bit of a wall down to 220. Let's just call it 226.5 if it breaks below. So 226.5 would be your area of concern if it were to break below there. Like I said, 35x. I mean, it's only getting you to 228 from here. 228 and a half, so you're getting liquidated. So don't do that. Don't do that. And this is about a 65% chance that this goes up. So, but yeah, from a spot position, I'm really liking where we're at. Let's see in the short term so we can snipe this a little bit. Right now it looks good in the short. Like that's the thing. Like the short term here to close the trading day looks pretty good. But you know, I'm not a rocket scientist, so I mean I don't know. But it just, and I'm not a financial advisor. But this is what I see. You know, this is just what I see developing right now. Is it going to pan out? I really don't know. Do I think there's a chance? I do. Better than not chance that this is going to end up playing into this pattern. So, and it's doing what we want it to right now to play into this pattern. So All I can do is go with my best guess. And if my best guess is wrong, well, if it breaks down, we know where it's going. And, you know, I can live with that. I can live with it. And if you guys can live with the decision you make, you know, I all the power to you, my friends. But that's what I see right now. So we've got a differing of opinion here of what we think can happen. But I think it's building up another for whatever reason. I feel like it's and because it came down like this until it invalidates this. I'm gonna roll with that assumption that that's exactly what it's doing because you know we had built this out. So unless it invalidates it, I've got to roll with it because we built this out for it to come down to that second part too. So we'll see. If anything, I would think even if it's bearish, we come up here to $2.37.4 and get a rejection if that's the case. But I think there's upward momentum that can happen here. Matt Grimes says, I believe in your perception too. I'm holding at least till adoption 20 seconds. Interesting. $2 XRP if Bitcoin keeps dropping. Well, in this scenario, Bitcoin's going to reverse up, at least to retest the drop. Oh, it's already up that much. Oh, this is feeding perfectly. We went back over 99.5 now. Because I'm not convinced Bitcoin's done yet. I just think we had a weak bottom and we had to back test it. And now we'll see if it ends up favoring back, you know, fading back to the top side. Still got a lot of room here for Bitcoin. And I've never seen Bitcoin fail completely when the weekly's that oversold. Remember that? That's working in our favor. And to be honest with you, this weekly can give a lot of validation here how it made a new low. And now it's pulling back up. I think we're a lot more bullish than people might give it credit for right now. So for those reasons, I feel really good about what's going on right now. Again, be very cautious. Be very careful. Where the fear and greed index should go down even more. Remember, I was calling for a 12 before the reversal. Does anybody remember? I said I want to see a 12 in the fear and greed index. And then I'll feel better. In 38 minutes, we'll be able to see this together, believe it or not. So, will there ever be a time Bitcoin can go opposite, or XRP can go opposite to Bitcoin? Absolutely. There will be a lot of things. There will be a lot of things that go opposite of Bitcoin, but it's not as needed as many people think. We're not supposed to go opposite of Bitcoin. We just need to take more of the money instead of Bitcoin. So basically, we're just looking for bigger scraps, but we still need the direction of Bitcoin. It's just like acting like for a mining stock. Hey, we can do it without gold or silver. We could, but you definitely need those particular plays to start going in your favor to warrant, you know, better movement. And that's how I feel about these. XRPN and XRPNW don't have a lot of data still for it. Watching it every day to try to find perspective. Still not sure exactly where that's at. We continue to move down in XRPNU by the day. So we're making the right call, not doing anything last week, not doing anything the week before, just riding this out and letting it shake out. This is what you're supposed to do. Daily's now finally getting into a nice oversold positioning. Weekly's actually on board now, moving down. So we're getting somewhere. 4 hourly's getting pretty interesting as well. I know it was up and now it faded down, but it'll show it. Come on, give us our evidence. We could use it. Because they were fading down now. 2 hourly's way down. 3 hourly's oversold. 4 hourly, I guess it doesn't want to show us today. Daily's oversold, crossing bullish. That could be a reversal candle for tomorrow. Sneaky one, but we'll see. I mean, it's come down a lot now. I feel a lot better where it's at now compared to where it started. Like when we're looking at it, it's way up here at almost 14. It's like that's not going to work. Not after a SPAC merger. It can't. It's a blank check company. Now it's down 21%. Now you start talking. Oh, okay. And these are on the NASDAQ. Then you got XRPNU, which we talked about. We have XRPN. And it's the same story. There was no way we were buying them up here until we could see some kind of price correction. This one doesn't move as much, so I think it's a more stable price. It's down 6%. And then you got another very volatile one, and this would be the warrant one. This is the one that's going all over the freaking place, but it hasn't had the big drop like the other. Well, not big drop, but it hasn't come down like the other ones like I would like to see. So what I want to see is it was at the top at $1.19. I would like to see it not only correct here, I want to see it kind of come maybe all the way back down. Nah, maybe not that far. I'd like to at least see it correct from where we had this wick top and the breakout and back test. So we'll see. But we don't have enough evidence. I don't have enough evidence here to make a decision one way or the other. I mean, if you're buying them, you're holding them. Like when I buy them, it's not going to be to sell them. I'm just looking for the proper positioning to get the best bang for my buck. We could be closing in on that positioning. And then XRPC is the Canary ETF. Had a nice flow in the beginning, but it dumped off hard. It dumped, and it's not hard like, oh my god, it's breaking the bank. But I mean, you're talking about you could have got in day one and you're down better than 8% already on that ETF. Historically, they dropped 20%, the ETF. So on average, a minimum average would be around 20%. So just remember that. Did exactly what it needs to do. Any idea why MXC on crypto chart shows massive 400%? I had no idea. Probably because you can't trade it on crypto.com anymore, I believe. Manipulation, I don't know. Oh, I think we're getting a rate cut, and this is the month where, you know how they keep saying, oh, there's a chance we can hike rate. We're not hiking rates. I keep telling everybody that let them have that 18% chance they're going to hike rates, or they're not even staying the same. You're not going to quantitative easing from tightening. I'm telling you right now, they can't possibly stay the same or raise rates because they already played the poker hand. This would be like playing Texas Hold'em, and your opponent gives you a tell every time. They gave us our tell. They said we're stopping quantitative tightening on December 1st, which means they can't do a rate hike. They can't even stay the same. What idiot would take out a loan, print money, and then take out a loan, and then before they even make before their first payment's made, they would agree to have interest rates go up. Not even the US government's that stupid. And they're pretty stupid. But not even they would do that. Because how bizarre would that look? Hey, we're going to quantitative easing and now we raise rates. That would look bizarro. That's bizarro world. What I think is we're probably not even going to get a 25 rate cut. This is where you could sneak in a 50 and everybody goes, oh my God. Oh my God. When everybody had this false perception, now we do it. If we get a 50 basis point rate cut, we might get 5,000 gold by a freaking Christmas. I'm hoping. Oh, it's not just going to be good for gold and silver and miners and that kind of. Oh, it's going to be good for crypto. A quantitative tightening ending to quantitative easing coupled with rate cuts and now a 50 if they did it. This is bullish for crypto. All these cuts, all these drops right now are good for crypto. I'm telling you, this is all good. When everybody's panicking, when everybody says, oh my God, Tom, oh Tom, oh Tom, you dum-dum. I go, when nobody's paying attention, like look, SHX right now. Let's do a little analysis on SHX. Come on. 4 hourly breaking bearish. It broke down out of this little channel, so there's an opportunity here to pay attention to this chart. And if it broke down anymore, which I'm not convinced that it's just going to break down here. Let's see. This is about where you have to have it. I mean, it's under it right now. So in theory, anything under it would be a good buy because it's probably going to pull back into this little area. But I've been playing with this pattern a little bit. I really have. But it's still reigned true. But I could go like this with this pattern and we could eat it up. Like we could literally eat it up and say, look at all these massive inconsiderate breakouts that didn't even need to go there. But I like to have the range. I don't know. I would definitely be looking at this right now. If it breaks down here because it broke bearish in the daily. Weekly is way oversold though. Like when you see weeklies like that, that is crazy. Oh. I would just watch SHX. That's all I'm saying. Just watch it. See if we get something. See if we get something there. And who's ever in the Linnea trade with me, I didn't look, but thank you. Thank you for the faith. The 11 of you that are in there. It means more to me than you know. To be able to ride with a group, good or bad, indifferent, whatever. I like there's unity in numbers. There's unities in numbers. So it says that there are 11 people on the trade with me. Look at that. Thank you, everybody. Heck yeah. All right. That makes me feel good. And the printer goes, yes, that is true. That is what's going to happen too. And then imagine if Trump actually does give everybody $2,000. Anybody making under 100K, that would be much like the pandemic era when we had easy money coming into crypto. Remember that. There's a lot of possibilities here. There are a lot of possibilities here. Garbanzo, thank you so much. And Mr. Stott. Hope Mr. Stott is doing well and swell. Thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, all of you. And thank you, Mr. Stott. Says I'm the shit. We'll see what happens here. Let's see where the long-term, short-term. I can't wait for 29 minutes, FYI. I want to see where the fear and greed index. Remember, I called a 12. I don't know if anybody even heard when I said this before, but I was saying it was going to be at a 12 before we got back into fear and all. I said if we get the 12 is where I think the real spot for the reversal is somewhere around 12. I know it's at 15, but I would like to take out that 12 or at least hit it or take it out. It's just something. It's just something that would be special. Now, did we take out 12? In 28 minutes, we're going to find out together. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we've got. Let's see. I like to do it in the 24-hour. Ooh, I would love it if we get to 11. I love that. I think everybody watching in my audience is getting a stimmy check. I'll get a stimmy check. I think. Yeah, oh yeah. Bitcoin 50.88% going short, 49.12% going long. There's about a $2.4 billion opportunity if it goes up instead of down. There's just that much of a disparity in liquidity on Bitcoin. Ethereum 50.73% going short, 49.27% going long. That gives us about $1.7 billion extra added liquidity if we go up from here instead of down. That's a good opportunity for the market, for Ethereum and Bitcoin, to be honest. For XRP, oh man. And I know the money's smaller, but 52.27% going short, 47.74% going long, which means there's about $500 million of excess liquidity if we take the up route. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Yeah. I really like the Bitcoin part, though. How much money is sitting there if we go up? You got $2.4 billion easy if we go up that can be liquidated. At least by this metric. I like that a lot. Oh, I like that. A lot more money on the top side here, too, for the market if it wants to come take it out. Forget this 3 month, though. Let's go into the 1 month. We're making our own stimmy checks. We sure are. We sure are. We're trying. Takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but we can do it together. I mean, look below us, guys. I mean, there's really no reason for it to come down here. Look at this. Leverage liquidation at 95.0. It actually says 0. That it actually says 0. Look, in that zone, there's no liquidation. Do you think they're going to come take that liquidation? Honestly. Or do you think it makes more sense to come up here in the monthly? We've got 115, $300 million, 200. I mean, there's really no reason. Even them coming and reaching down here was a power play, in my opinion. It's because we had a weak bottom and we had to validate it. We made a new low. And now this would be the validation tap back. I mean, this just seems like we got a chance here at a reversal. Let's take the 2 weekly. I feel much better today than yesterday, honestly. Much better today because we took out these levels. This is where you could get that quick reversal when no one's paying attention. They're like, oh my freaking God, how did we get back to 112? But who knows? I could be wrong. I could be reading into this. Look at all this liquidation above. I mean, when you come down there, it dries up so quick. Look at that. It's drying up. The lower you go, the lower it gets. Look at 0. I can't believe that's true. But anyhow, look at up here. Look how much liquidation. You got billions. You could get billions of dollars as you come up here. You could get hundreds of millions here, but it dies out. You get a couple billion. But then once you dry out, you gotta go up to make more liquidity for the down. If it's gonna come to the FEG at 92, they've got to get more downside liquidity to make it even more worth it. Because they already took out so much downward liquidity, historic levels of it, in fact, all the way from 2x and up on most things. Maybe not Bitcoin, but most other things. Make sure to hit that like button. 130 people watching, 87 people hit the like button. Oh, we got a gifted sub too. Mr. Euler, Joseph Euler, thank you so much for not only being in towns over 6+ months with the XP Predictor, but embodying the spirit of paying it forward. And he's been gifting a sub several times a week here to get the word out. I would love for more people to do that, to help get the word out for the channel. As I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. I do not charge for any of my content, and I've been here every single day. So we have the pay it forward mentality that I talked about, and now it's catching on all these years later. But if you appreciate what I do, you can join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. And upon joining, you get the exclusive Telegram. It's the chat room with a whole bunch of different things in there. It's not just one chat, but there's so many different things. There's 499 members currently in there. So you have a bunch of like-minded people, including myself. You have 499 members. It's spectacular. I can't even explain it until you join because there's just so much stuff in there. I can't possibly do it justice. So I encourage you, if you want to be around a group of your peers and you want to advance your knowledge, that's the place to do it. And that's my thank you for everybody. And it's taken me years to build it the way I wanted. But yeah, thank you, Joseph. And Darren Wozniak, congratulations on getting the month 1 badge of the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. So make sure you look at your perks in the membership area and you get that link to the Telegram and join us. To be lucky number 500, my friend. Defined welcoming and thanks for being in Tom's over 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Also a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. My right-hand man, he puts out the weekly edition of our newsletter, and it's just spectacular. It's spectacular. He does a spectacular job is the best way to put it. Let's see. Yeah, they got the 50-year mortgage they're talking about, and let's not even get me started on that. But yes, that is definitely something true. I wanted to read this too. We've got time to kill still. Where was this at? I wanted to show everybody the initial volume. So with the Canary XRP exchange traded fund volume hit 26 million in the first 30 minutes. Just after its launch on Thursday, November 13th, the Canary XRP ETF is already beating expectations as it has recorded a surprising 26 million in volume within the first 30 minutes of grand debut. Eric Balachunas, the senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg, has shared this exciting update by his X handle, revealing that the milestone has seen XRPC blow out his initial prediction of 17 million. XRPC on track to flip BSOL's 57 million record. The analyst further shared data revealing that the ETF is priced at $26.54 per share. Hence, this means that about 1 million units have been traded early within half an hour after it launched. Stupid move by whoever bought that then. The early momentum surrounding XRPC has far exceeded initial expectations, beating previous predictions of market experts. Apparently, this is attributable to the hype and heightened enthusiasm surrounding the product long before the official launch. Nonetheless, the rapid surge in activity witnessed by XRPC in its first trading session has made the fund a strong contender to the recently launched Bitwise Solana ETF BSOL. While BSOL had achieved the highest first-day volume for any crypto ETF launch this year with a massive 57 million record, it appears that the Canary XRP ETF is right on track to beat the record. XRP eyes over 150 million volume target on day one. With the massive 26 million already achieved in the first 30 minutes of launch, market experts are already predicting the Canary XRP ETF volume to surpass a record 153 million before the end of its first trading day. We'll see the official numbers tomorrow. A popular crypto, I don't give a rat's ass about this guy, to be honest with you. Anyhow, let's see. So here's that 419. Canary Spot XRP ETF generates 58 million in day one. So after the first 30 million, we had 25 million. For the rest of the day, it had a total of 33 million. Might have been a little pump and dump game there. But yeah, we'll see how that ends up playing out. We'll see how those numbers play out. But honestly, you got to understand what's going on there before you buy that kind of stuff. Historically, those ETFs have gone down on average 20% at a minimum when they come out. Good evening, G-String, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 2 months with the Dusty Dollars crypto news. Matthew Ramelli, welcome in. John Bugathorpe, good evening, my friend, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad. It's better late than never, and I hope you're having a blessed evening, my good friend. I appreciate you continuing to tune in. Matt Grimes says we need the shorts to put in a butt ton. Praying for the stimmy checks for the army. Oh man, I got an honest question. If you had $2,000, that stimmy, what are you buying? And since we're getting this money, my initial inclination would be everybody would say silver, but I got a different strategy. Yes, that's the safe play, but depending on when it would come, that's $2,000 to put into your ISO or IOT token of choice. And then in theory, at the first 1x move, you could theoretically take 2,000 and then put it in silver instead of 2,000. Or you could do it at 4. I'm just saying. So in this case, I'm not looking at silver because this is a golden opportunity. And what's crypto for? Trying to expand our means. I'm not storing the value of something somebody else handed to me. So now I've got to do the job to make this exceed what they gave me in a big way. XDC, not a bad choice. If I had $2,000 that I just got handed to today, what would XRP Future Millionaire put it in? I've already got 100,000 IOTA. I don't need any more of that. I've got 205,000 XDC and we're buying $250 a week. I don't need to do it there. XLM, I've got the 20,000 I want. I'm not buying any more XRP. I'm not buying any more XRP Healthcare. I don't need any more Algo. I have 50,000 there. I don't need any more Linea. I don't need any more SHX. Quant's too expensive. What would I put it in? I can't buy VeChain out of Virtue because of what we figured out. VeChain can forever suck my nuts. And anyone else who goes down that particular philosophy can also. That's why I say I'm not married to any asset anymore. I thought I was. Well, the 3X's I can't lie. I'm married to because I just like them. They can beat me around a little bit and I would still say, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. You got to do what you got to do. It's not your fault. Yep. That's probably the way it would go too. But there's certain things that, I believe in and just you let it come together. But SHX right now, I was just making sure that it's still tradable. It is right now on Kraken. If you have Kraken, you can get it for, what's the price? 1.026 roughly. So don't miss it. Don't miss I went on here to see how many I had, honestly. I think it's 200 and something thousand. Let's see. I'm sorry. I like to be very thorough when I'm talking because I don't know. I want everybody to be on the same track as me. I think there's something. I think it's important for us all to be on the same track. You know? I do. And I think the hardest thing is getting on the same track. Oh, I have 214,692. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure how many it was. Um, but is there a chance I would add more? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Let's have another good short term trade like we had to start the week where we made like $3,000 on that XRP trade. Let's say there's another scenario like that. Maybe. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely a possibility. But it would have to be something out of the ordinary, like a couple 100,000. That's what I wanted. I mean, I have more SHX than I honestly could have ever even thought possible. So I'm not mad. I am not mad. Um, yeah, I mean, it's what makes you happy though. Like I'm happy. If it went down, I'm still happy. I'm still happy. Don't think I think Mr. Stott, one of my strong suits is that I'm a very good multitasker, and it definitely helps in that regard for the comments. There is no doubt about that. I would definitely agree that that is one of my stronger suits. No doubt about that. I appreciate the fact that you noticed that, Mr. Stott. I do appreciate that. Doesn't take a lot to make me happy. I'm listening to my son too. It makes me happy hearing him. He's just in such a good mood. Such a good mood. Um. Anyhow, I like listening to him. Sometimes I'll stop talking just to kind of hear what he's doing in his room. Um. But yeah. So we've got that. So I mean, in a lot of regards, I'm all set up for what I need to do. It's just a matter of kind of watching this play out to the end of this because there's a lot of shakeout. There's a lot of up and down. We still understand that it could come down to 92, 4 and fill that FVG. We know that if it broke down, um, if it breaks down, that you know, we could find ourselves out of a rising wedge down to like 50 something thousand. Anyhow, what we found out with V Chain and a few others like BNB and a couple others is that it's like I don't remember the right word to say in a nice way. But basically they made it to where okay. So what was the word? Crypto Cooter, I know you're in here. Crypto Cooter, what's the word that I need to type in? I had done it before. What's that word? It's a specific word and I can find it very easily. Does anybody want to know what I'm talking about? The kind of coin. It's BNB, VChain. Yeah, anyone can freeze your assets. I'm trying to that asset freeze. Let's see. I know VChain. Oh, the hidden freeze claim. So because they have Bybit came out and they talked about it. I want to read the 16 and then we can go so these are the ones that they're saying and they say XDC which makes it interesting but I haven't seen anything outside that's so BNB chain, Aptos, Sue, and 13 other major networks contain code that allows for the blocking or restriction of the user funds. This conclusion was reached by an analyst from the Lazarus Security Lab division of Bybit. So that Linnea's in here, they're saying Oasis, Hako Chain, Harmony One, V Chain, Vic, Chiliz, EOS. But this is interesting because why would it be now that when but the what this article says, why would it be just those 13? Because if it was using that, it's interesting. So a lot of disparity, a lot of people are coming out because it is Bybit, and do you trust Bybit? That's the other thing. Bybit, I think, is a hack exchange. But the fact they came out and says it is interesting. VeChain denies Bybit's explosive hidden freeze claim. 2019 block list was not a secret kill switch. So VeChain slams Bybit's research. This is what I'm saying. I don't even know if they're telling us the truth. I think they're full of shit, probably. But addressing the specific allegation in its recent post on X, the team explains that the only incident resembling such action occurred in December of 2019 when a private key theft compromised a single VeChain wallet. Following the breach, VeChain community voted to implement a one-time community-approved block list to prevent the liquidation of the stolen assets. Validators upgraded their node software to reject transactions originating from the theft's wallets and ensured the stolen funds could not be moved or reallocated. The measure VeChain clarified was a transparent, governance-driven response to a major security event and not a unilateral fund freeze embedded in the protocol source code. The company further explained that the technical distinction between blocking and freezing while criticizing the Bybit report for conflating validator level inclusion policies with hard-coded freezing capabilities. That's what I'm more concerned about. What's going on at Bybit for them to have to put this story out? You're telling me, I don't know, Bybit, they've been known. Remember what they just did earlier in the year? The fact that we would believe them at word makes it interesting. Because remember what Bybit did just earlier this year with the user funds and how they had a big liquidity scare and people couldn't move their money? Oh, it was deep. Anybody. It was earlier this year. It was bad. So IOTA or XLM? Oh, I'll fight to the death IOTA over XLM 10 times out of 10. Fine, 9 times out of 10. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I have high hopes for IOTA. I'll fight to the death, and I have both. So I have both. So Bybit Lazarus Security Lab report titled Blockchain Freezing Exposed examined the impact of fund freezing ability, and blockchain claimed that 16 major blockchain networks have expressed or possess features that allow developers or validators to freeze or restrict user funds. I could argue that every single one of them have this capability for peep's sake. According to the report, VeChain was among several networks, including Binance-backed BNB Chain, Sue, Aptos, and Exinfin's XDC network, listed as having hard-coded freezing mechanisms directly embedded. So, XDC, let's see, hidden freeze mechanism. I don't think they've said anything about it like VeChain did. But I suspect a lot of these are going to come out and call bullshit. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens here. This is definitely going to be an interesting topic of discussion for days to come. I just want to hang out here for a few more minutes. Hey, Proton on BITUNIX, my friend. BITUNIX. They have it in spot where I can get it. Right now, we're just filling this pattern out. Still on an inverse, the cup and handle. This is the handle playing out. Once this handle breaks out, right now it's at the support side of the handle as well. Mark Cuban has 100 million Proton XPR. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice. Nice. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know. So triple your cash with XLM. Let's see. Hey, I didn't say you guys would like my answer, but I do own 20,000 plus XLM. Yes, I own 100,000 IOTA, but I like IOTA. It's my hidden gem. Epic down 5.74%. I think it's setting up a stellar pattern setup here if it doesn't break down completely. We're going to find ourselves like in the weekly and stuff. We're getting pretty on the backside of this thing. So I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out here. This is fascinating what's going on here. If we hold these levels across the board, we do have a lot of room to start pushing, like a lot. XPR is in that category. It's significantly oversold in the weekly. Dailies are where we're crossing over a bit, but you know, this is where we're trying to see where we're finally going to meet in these patterns. At some point, I mean, if these are volatile to where they're going to go back up before another move down, I mean, they're getting ready for a bit of a spike pretty much across the board. If this actually plays out, I mean, we have no way of knowing if it does play out, but if this plays out, this is what's happening. We're starting to trend down this line. So we'll see what happens. 5 minutes from now, I want to see where the fear and greed index is, and then I got to go. I appreciate all of you so much. So very much. It means a lot to me to have all of you in here. We've got something good going on here. Let's put it that. We've got something special going on here. I'm proud to be a part of this. I'm glad we have so many people in here discussing, trying to enlighten our community. I really do. I'm glad. Makes me happy. Makes me proud to see everybody working in unison. Now, are we going to break out here? Are we going to break down? Well, that's just something we're going to have to watch and see what actually happens here because I really don't know. It really could go either way here. Could go either way here. But I'm very excited about some of the setups here. Some of this, not just the setups, but some of the opportunities here. Yes, BITUNIX for Proton and Spot. I can't find anything else that I use that I can buy it in Spot. I still don't believe that WEEX has it. Nope. They do have DAG now, which is nice to see. Honestly, really nice to see. TOOBIT still doesn't have Proton. I would like to see more people start carrying it, but unfortunately, they don't. So you kind of got to do what you do. So, you know, I'll continue to do the best I can navigating this market. And yeah, they're working with the credit unions, so it's definitely something to pay attention to. In the United States, that's not fake news. That's actually for real. So definitely something. We're just finishing out this candle here. We got 2 minutes left in this daily candle, and then we can see for real what's going on. You're gonna get a lot of volatility here at the end of this candle. But now we're going to see for real what's going on here. You know, when we flip this clock, we're going to get a real deciding movement here. Real deciding movement. But we'll be able to see this together. You know, we'll be able to see this together. Let's see where we close. We got 2 minutes, 2:32, 4:26, 2:32, 37. Because we really want to see, like, maybe we'll retap the low from yesterday before we swing up. But that's always a possibility. Like, maybe we retest it on the, no, not the low, but the low of this candle, maybe. We stay in the middle or retest like 230. But it does seem like, though, we can get hot here. If we're going to get hot, it can be quick. Just at the end of the candle, that's where it gets dangerous. But we got to see if this is a top and it doesn't play out properly. We know we'll come down to there. So there's a lot of There's a lot of stuff here, guys. The reasoning is to prevent hackers from hacking and distribution of the token to the point that it's untraceable. Yeah, Stanley, that makes more sense to me with VeChain because that's what it sounded like they were trying to say. So all I can say is Bybit probably didn't do proper research, and their claims, are kind of hogwash. I don't trust Bybit, so I don't put a lot of stock into it, but it's definitely something that I keep on my table, so that I don't forget about and then I can look deeper into. But on face value, I don't trust Bybit. But anyhow, 7 o'clock. Let's see what we're at now. Crypto Fear and Greed Index was at 15. Ooh, 16. Ugh. So it went to 16. Well, that sucks. Well, that's fine. But have a blessed evening, everybody. I greatly, 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 greatly appreciate it. Have a blessed evening. I'm going to go deal with the family stuff. 113 people left, 113 likes. How spectacular is that? The only way I can leave you is the way I'm going to leave you from now on. Be blessed. Be giving. Show integrity. Give thanks. And don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior, Yahweh, Yahshua, our Creator, God Himself. Be blessed.
Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny